Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. This is Brother Isaac, Minister Isaac Wilson, coming to you again with another live video here. And I wanted to discuss some things that's on my heart today with you that'll hopefully be a blessing to you in your life and in your life journey. And that's about, we're going to talk about what's being real, what's a real man, and what's considered to be a real woman in this day in society, okay? And a lot of people uh, have their own uh, ideas and so forth of what a real man is and what a real woman may be. But we're gonna go and dig into this topic a little bit here as I share with you what God has placed on my heart to share with you. Okay. So for the definition of real, when I looked in the dictionary, it's something that's actual, something that's true. Also, part of that definition, it says genuine, something that's genuine. And the word actual, when I looked at to dig a little deeper in the word meaning of the word actual, it's something that's existing, or means to be, continues to be, something that continues to be. Okay, so it's just like when you have a real leather jacket or some sort, like a real leather jacket or real leather purse. Uh, that real leather purse is going to continue to be real. Okay, or if it's continued to be genuine leather, it's going to continue to be real genuine leather. Okay, so what I would like to just try to get us to understand and reach out and realize and discover is, do we really know how to recognize or identify what is real today? Many of us are altering our bodies. With plastic surgery, it's a big thing these days. Every woman, she wants to have the biggest of breasts, the biggest legs, the biggest behind, and all of those things, and so forth. And people is getting liposuction and all these different procedures done uh, to themselves. So there's nothing wrong with a little enhancement, but also it's just it's something we got to realize. It's a problem within that needs to be addressed first and foremost. Okay, because you can get all of these procedures and all of these different alterations and so forth happening, but still we may have the same issues. Okay, lying beneath. Okay, that's within our identities. Who is the person behind the mask? A lot of us wear masks for whatever reason or another. We wear masks. Maybe some of us feel as though we'll be accepted if we are looked upon in different ways or different aspects, or carry ourselves with different attitudes or demeanors. So, who is the person behind the mask? And why is it that you persist on or feel the need to wear a mask? Okay? So we're gonna unlock these things to find out just actually what real is. So we're gonna have a real talk right now. It's gonna be a real talk, a real discussion. Okay. So and I'm not gonna say that I have all the answers to every situation or to everything, but just a few things that God has shared with me and enlightened me with today that I want to share with you all. Okay. Uh, does it mean because you have all of these fancy cars and a whole lot of money and everything, does that make you a real man or a real woman? Because you have a good job, does that really make you a good man or a good woman? Because you got so many women's phone numbers or men's phone numbers that's calling you, or women calling you, does that make you a real man or a real woman? Because you buffed or you worked out in the gym and you looking all cock diesel strong and everything, does that make you a real man? Because you could bench press 300 and 400 pounds, does that really make you a real man? Okay. Or if you have a nice shape, that's desirable to people, and men constantly trying to holler at you, does that make you a real woman? Okay? So some people believe these are the things they need to acquire to be considered as a real man or a real woman. But actually, in the reality, it isn't. Okay? So I got a few notes here I'm going to go through to help stay a course as we talk about this uh, subject on what's a real man and what's a real woman. It's not our outward appearance or circumstances that defines us, but it's our inner contentment and happiness which illuminates and reflects our attitudes, who we are or have become. Let me say that again for you all. It is not our outward appearance or circumstances that defines us, but our inner contentment and happiness, which illuminates and reflects our attitudes of who we are or become. Many people don't like the skin that they're in. You know, you hear people say, I love the skin that I'm in. And for some people, they honestly can say that, but you got some people really don't like themselves. They don't like their personality, and they don't like how they look, their features. They just don't like themselves for whatever reason. You know, so people have felt the need to alter their personalities, their egos, their physical appearance, all to make them feel happy or to try to experience some type of joy within. But it's not real. It's superficial because that's not who you really are. You know, and however God created you to be, and to look, we ought to be able to appreciate and accept those things. But along the way, I know there have been some things that we need to understand. So people have felt the need to alter themselves, their bodies, or their personalities. And because we want everyone to like us and accept us, and that's the bottom line. Everybody's not going to like you, and everybody is not going to accept you for who you are. My mom used to tell me that when I was younger, growing up, that, we do so much to be accepted by people and to fit in, to be a part of the in crowd, that, sometimes some people, without regardless of what it is that you do or how you dress or whatever, everybody's not going to like you or accept you. That's just the reality. So in a desperate fashion, we make drastic decisions and changes without seeking the wisdom of God. Okay? We're living in times that people believe plastic surgery is the answer or a quick fix solution that's going to solve all of our problems or even make people accept us or like us even more. Okay? So let me just go through some things with you all in regard to what defines what a real man is and what a real woman is. And some things may apply to both. Okay. A real man is responsible. He is mature, not by his age, but by mentality. You got a lot of men, who are older, but they're not mature. And some women are starting to realize that they feel as though they got to raise a grown man, because there's some areas in his life that he wasn't matured in or taught in to grow. So it's not a person's age that matures them, but it's their mentality. Okay? So a real man, he doesn't avoid his obligations. does not avoid his obligations. You know what? We all have obligations and responsibilities. So, men, we have to. A real man, he does not avoid his obligations. Okay. A real man, he's considerate of other people's feelings. Considerate of other people's feelings. And try your best not to try to hurt people's feelings intentionally. A real man understands that. A real man, he tries to get, he realized he would not try to get recognition, to try to brag about himself. A real man doesn't feel a need or have a need to do that. To want to brag about what he has or, brag upon himself like that. Real men don't do that. Okay? Also, a real man knows how to take care of his family. They know how to take care of their families. Okay? They know how to take care of their family. And then, they know how to take care of their family. Okay? A real woman, she would never embarrass you publicly. A real woman, she will call you to the side and talk to you privately and to express what it is that she needs to say to you. She won't try to embarrass you in front of a whole lot of people. That's not good. It's not right. And it will cause problems ultimately. Also, a real woman, she will never use the kids to punish the kid's dad. And I mean this, man. We use the kids as, some women use the kids as pawns, meaning to get back at the dad, to be just evil, to get revenge, or to keep the child from seeing their dad, or the kids from seeing their father. A real woman wouldn't do that. She would want her kids to have a relationship with her kid's father. Okay? Well, not just, that's being selfish. Also, a real woman, she won't sell or prostitute her body to get money and material things. Okay? She won't sell her body or prostitute herself to get money or material things or positions in life. Okay? That's not what real women do. A real woman, she will not expose her body for attention. Leave something for the imagination. It's not for everybody to see or know your ins and outs by what you earn. And then some women, they exposing their bodies wearing this and wearing that, and then when the brothers try to talk to them, they get an attitude. Well, you got to understand, if you exposing your body like that, some men don't know what it is or what your intentions are. But it's in a form, for some men, they consider it as advertising. When you're exposing or wearing clothes that exposes your body, and it's like fashion, where they can see everything. It's all right to look sexy, but it's also classiness as well that's involved, okay? Okay, ladies? So a real woman, she knows her worth and she knows her value. And what I mean by know your worth and know your value, you got some women, they're in relationships, they have boyfriends and so forth, and the boyfriend don't do nothing with them, don't buy them anything, and don't take care of them, but yet this is supposed to be your man. So a real woman, she's not gonna settle for anything like that. You being cheap with her and treating her like she's anything. If this is your woman, is your wife or your girl, you're supposed to value and treasure her. A real woman she knows her worth, so she knows that she's deserving of more. When you sitting up here as a woman, you sitting up here, you taking care of a man, but this man is supposed to be your boyfriend or he's supposed to be your husband, but yet you taking care of him. Well, he's standing behind you, looking at you with his hand up. So a real woman, she knows her worth and she knows her value, you know. And also a real woman, she doesn't need a man to take care of her. You know, a real woman, she doesn't need a man to take care of her. You know, when the husband and wife come together, they can supposed to build each other up and one union as a team. And, you know, it shouldn't be one-sided. You know, when one person wants you to spend all of their money on them and they want to save their money on themselves, that's not right. But a real woman, she doesn't need a man to take care of her. Okay? Also, let me see if we go down the list here. A real man, he does not abuse women or children. Then, a real man doesn't hit on a woman. And I'm not even, and abuse is part of what I wrote in my book. And we got verbal abuse, we got physical abuse, and mental abuse. So a real man, he doesn't abuse women and children. Doesn't talk down to them. Only a coward does those things, or a man with low self-esteem does these things because he wants to make himself feel empowered as a man. Okay, so a weak coward man is the one that abuses women and children. Okay, or is also a man that's been abused himself. Okay, a lot of times the person that's been abused, they will become a person that abused somebody else. Okay, so also a real man, he recognizes that he has strengths, but he also knows that he has weaknesses as well. Most real men know that. They know that you got to know your strengths and your weaknesses. It's important that you do know that. You know, we all real men, we strive for perfection, but we also know ultimately that we have some areas in our lives that God is still working on. I know that I can speak. I'm speaking to myself as well. Okay. Also, a real man, he strives to walk in wisdom, and I'm going to give you some scriptural basis for this here, and this is in the book of James, chapter 1, verse 5. Also, Proverbs 1, verse 7. Also, I'm going to also have you look at Proverbs chapter 2, verse 6. And also, I want you to also take the time to read James, the 3rd chapter, verse 17. It talks about the wisdom, okay? Be very helpful to you all, especially young men who are striving and seeking wisdom, okay? A real man, he isn't concerned about his reputation and people talking negative about him. And this one right here, I tell you, there's an old saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt. That's not true at all, because we all know that words can hurt. And, you know, depending on what point in time or wherever a person is, may be at that particular time in their life, we know words can hurt. You know, so that's just an old saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt. You know, people are going to talk about you. A real man knows that. As long as you're trying to do something positive or you're making strides, you're going to always have haters, people just talking negatively and derogatory about you. They're going to always find something negative to say. And that's just how it is. They talked about Jesus. You know, my mom used to say to me, she said, must Jesus bear the cross alone and all the world go free? You know, and Jesus, he sat on that cross. He went through suffering and persecution. You know, and a lot of times, you know, we say, well, wow, I haven't done anything to any of these people. They find some kind of way that had something negative or derogatory to say about me. But you know what? It's just always somebody's going to try to knock you off your square. You just got to realize a real man knows and understands that. But you just don't meditate on those things. You continue on and just realize and know that you just keep your eyes stayed on him. And he's going to continue to bless you. And people going to be trying to scratch their head wondering how you still making it. you know, because my eyes have stayed focused on the bugs, not focused on man. Because you can't please man. You can't, you know. And the scriptures I want you to look at on those, I want you to look at, man, there's 2 Timothy chapter 3, verses 12, and also John 15, verse 20, Gospel of John, verses 15, chapter 15, verse 20, and also in the book of Galatians, chapter 6, verses 12, okay? So, a real man, he knows how to express or demonstrate love to his children and people around him, okay? Too often times, we as men, we always try to be so hardcore. We don't know how to be compassionate and express our emotions to our family and people around us and our children. You know, it does a person well to know that they're loved, not by actions, but you're also in your words, just to tell your kids sometimes, you know, son or daughter, I love you. You know, it's no harm in doing that. You know, because when I grew up, I didn't get that a lot. Even though my parents, I knew they loved me, but to just hear that, you know, would have sometimes encouraged me or would have helped you a little bit, you know, along the way. To hear your moms or your dad say or tell you, you know, son or daughter, I love you. And some men may have never even had a father to even tell them that, or son or daughter, I love you. You know, and I said to myself, I said, you know, I'm not going to allow myself to be that way. I'm going to express love to my kids. I'm going to tell them while they're alive, well, son and daughter, I love you. You know, because we as parents, we need to do that, okay? Because it does our kids a great deed. Also, a real woman, she takes care of her children and teaches them. She don't just leave them over people's houses days at a time while she out going to the club and running the streets and everything, chasing dudes down and everything. But a real woman, she takes care of her children and she teaches them. Okay? A real woman, she owns up to her mistakes and admits when she's wrong. That could go for both man and female, man and woman. Can own up to their mistakes and admit when they're wrong, okay? A real woman, she will support her man's dreams and not talk down to him. Wow, big right there. She will not talk down to her man, but she will support his dreams and his vision. Okay, that's what a real woman does, okay? A real woman, she will never force her significant other or husband to do something that they're not comfortable with. You know, she won't pressure him to do something or that he's not comfortable with. She won't pressure him to try to buy a house and she know that he's not even making enough money to even afford an apartment. A real woman wouldn't do that. A selfish woman would, though. She would tell you, yeah, we need to get into this big house. You know, knowing that he's not making big house money. Okay, so a real woman will not pressure her husband or significant other to make certain decisions like that. Okay. Also, a real man. What makes a real man? He's accountable for his own actions. Real men, they don't play the blame game. They don't play the blame game. You know, you got some people, some men, and this go vice versa. You got some women also. If my mom would have did this, or if my dad would have did this, or they would have pushed me to do this or do that. No, but you got to live your own life and you make your own decisions. So be accountable for your own actions. Stop blaming people for certain things or certain decisions that you made. Not nobody else put a gun to your head to make those decisions. You did. You made those decisions. Okay? And also, a real man doesn't make excuses. You find the easy way out is always to make an excuse. Come up with a good excuse. Real men don't make excuses at all. It is what it is, and that's it. I didn't come through, or I didn't make it, or I didn't succeed. That's it. I'm not gonna make no excuses. Real men don't make excuses. Also, real man strives to have or develop a relationship with the Lord. Because I'm going to tell you, sometimes in your life, with real men, you need to get on your knees. And you don't know what it, and this goes from real women also. We get on our knees and we pray. We seek God's wisdom. We seek His face. Sometimes we don't have answers for a lot of things we're going through. And so we got to get on our knees and pray and seek God for some wisdom, instruction, and guidance. Okay? Also, as we get ready to come to a close, a real woman, she will not allow her parents to dictate or control her life or her relationship. And this could go both ways as well. You got some individuals that allow their parents to dictate and control their relationships, their marriages. And it's not right. It's not right. You're an adult now. You're no longer a child. Leave and cleave. The Bible talks about leaving and cleaving. The man gets married, leave his household. Leave and cleave. I can't quote it correctly right now, but you can't allow your mom to be dictating what you should do in your marriage and how you should be treating your wife. Or wife, you shouldn't be allowing your mom to be trying to dictate how you should treat your husband. So real women and real men don't do that. We don't allow our parents to dictate or control their life. Some people will never be their own woman or own man because they always seeking their parents' approval for everything. And it's not disrespectful not to seek your parents' approval on some things. But some of you all will not know how to be independent of your own because, without needing your parents' approval. Okay? That's not God's way. Okay? Also, a real man, a real woman knows their sexual identity and their personal identity. I'm going to say this to some of you all, man, some of you all that don't think that because you allow another man to perform oral sex on you, that you're not a homosexual. That's clearly a homosexual. If you allow a man to perform oral sex with you, it's still a sexual act. So it's just things like this, or vice versa. Women, you allow another woman to have oral sex with you, you still don't believe that you're a lesbian, or some of you all may be bisexual, or whatever the case may be. But a real man or a real woman knows their sexual identity. There's no confusion involved. But I was just touching on a little small surface of that note as far as the sexual identity and your personal identity. Okay? Because some people or some men believe that, you got to perform oral sex on you while you was incarcerated and everything, and, I'm not a homosexual. A part of you are, because if you still committed an act with another man, regardless if there was no penetration involved, that's still a sexual act. So that does make you still a homosexual. Okay? So I'm going to leave that at that, and I hope that this real talk discussion was a blessing to you. And till next time, we'll talk to you later. God bless you. Have a great day.